Here is the recap of the first season of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. The series is set around the same time as Mandalorean. The Empire has fallen, but its remnants still have weight in the galaxy. Because of the chaos everywhere, pirates have appeared, terrorizing the inhabitants of space. One day, a pirate ship captures a certain vessel, and the crew sneaks on board. The charismatic Captain Silvo declares to his men that now they will finally live in wealth, as they have caught a big score. However, upon opening the safe, they discover nothing of value, because of which the pilot Brutus overthrows his captain. Meanwhile, on a planet called At-Attin, people have never even heard of pirates. The thing is, their world is completely isolated, and a dome has been constructed around the planet. People here are engaged in some big unknown project. Families live a quiet life, and their children go to school and prepare to pass exams. A boy named Wim wants to become a Jedi when he grows up, but everyone mocks him because he believes in fairy tales. The only one who supports him is his best friend Neil. Vim's family is not easy. His mother is dead, and his father is at work all day long. On the day of his exams, the boy misses the bus. He gets on a scooter and decides to take a shortcut through the forest, but falls and ends up at the bottom of a canyon. There he discovers a mysterious door, but he has no time to figure it out, and is found by droids who take him to school. At the principal's office, he meets a girl named Fern, who he likes since she's cool, and hangs out with her weird friend KB all the time. Wim tries to explain to his arriving father that he found a strange door in the woods, but the man won't listen to him and scolds him for missing the exam. When the man leaves, Fern asks Wim about the mysterious door, but he tells her nothing. Vim and his friend Neil decide to find out what's behind the door and go to the canyon alone. But when they arrive, they find Fern and KB. The kids argue over whose find it will be, and end up opening the passage. Inside, everything looks run down, but it's clearly some sort of relatively modern construction. KB starts the reactor and the electronics wake up. Vim realizes it's an upside-down spaceship, and for fun, he presses a blinking button. Suddenly, the autopilot kicks in and the craft begins to take off. The kids don't make it out in time and leave the planet. The main characters don't know how to stop the ship. On top of that, the light speed turns on and takes them to an unknown destination. Soon, strange sounds come from the corridor, and a droid named SM-33 appears, who behaves quite unusually. He calls for the captain, who has not been here for a long time, and wants to throw the intruders out into outer space. However, the clever Fern informs him that she killed the captain, which means that she is now in charge. Surprisingly, the droid agrees. The children try to ask him where their planet At-Attin is, but he assures them that he has never heard of this place. Though I recall the ship was on At-Attin. Then he proposes to fly to the nearest port, where the main characters can find out how to return home. Except that the port the droid led them to turns out to be a pirate harbor, which they don't realize yet. The children behave quite relaxed, not realizing the danger they are in, and even pay with the money of the old Republic, which is immediately noticed by the locals. The protagonists also start asking about their planet, but everyone just laughs at them, saying that At-Attin is a world from fairy tales, as if there are untold treasures hidden there. Soon, pirates try to rob the children, and the droid defends his team. However, he is disabled, and the main characters are imprisoned. There they meet the very Captain Silvo from the beginning of the series, and he, hearing where they are from, immediately decides to help them escape. It turns out that the man is sensitive to the Force and has no problem getting the keys to the cell. Together, they stealthily make their way to the ship, but the children refuse to fly without the droid, so Silvo has to go back for him, causing them to be spotted and given chase. It turns out that the new pirate Captain Brutus wanted to execute Silvo and intends to catch up with Silvo no matter what it costs him. Vim believes Silvo is a Jedi because of his Force sensitivity, and the former pirate doesn't want to convince him otherwise. However, the other children don't trust him. Silvo then decides to make a deal with them. He helps them get to At-Attin, and as a reward, he will take the treasure he finds there. The first thing they do is go to an old acquaintance of his, a star chart specialist named Kaim. She, knowing the pirate's reputation, reports him to the New Republic authorities. Meanwhile, Kim tells the children about the existence of a series of legendary planets that have been hidden from the rest of the galaxy for one reason or another. But many have already been looted or destroyed. She asks the main characters leading questions and narrows the search down to one particular planet. Just then, New Republic fighters arrive. Silvo tricks the children, informing them that they are bandits and Kim has betrayed them. They escape and are sent to the coordinates they received. The main characters arrive on a planet they think is At-Attin. The children order the droid and Silvo to stay on the ship, and they go exploring. At first it does look like their homeworld, just destroyed. But soon they are met by some armed teenagers and asked who they serve. It turns out to be a completely different planet, but also one of those legendary ones. There was some kind of incident on it, and now people here are in constant battles. The main characters go to the base of these teenagers where they get acquainted with their leader. This is a bit gone old man, who is ready to sacrifice the children of his tribe to defeat the enemies. Recently their cattle have been stolen, and now his army is going to take them back. The main characters are taken with him and thrown to the front lines. However, they are lucky. Silvo, while they were away, ransomed the animals and eventually traded them for the children. They soon learn that a tower not far away had the coordinates of some other planets. The team makes their way there. The coordinates of all the legendary planets are indeed there. Except At-Attin's coordinates have been destroyed by someone. Suddenly, their droid admits that it was his past captain who ordered them destroyed the last time they were here. And not to let anyone know what he knew about this planet. That's why the droid has been acting so strangely all this time and can't remember At-Attin. Fern orders the protocols to be rewritten, after which the droid reveals that the coordinates of their home are in the lair of his previous captain, Tak-Renod. Silvo immediately recognizes the name, as Tak-Renod is a very famous pirate who was rumored to have found At-Attin, but disappeared somewhere. The main characters go to the planet where the lair of Tak-Renod is located. However, during the long years of his absence, a resort has been built on the site of the lair. Silvo disguises the children as short aliens and buys a room in the hotel. On the way, the man is met by a mercenary who sinks a grudge against him and immediately turns him into the pirates hunting Silvo. The main characters realize that they are running out of time, so they start searching the resort, hoping to find the entrance to the pirates' lair, as the lower floors are left untouched. Eventually, they manage to find the treasure room, and there Silvo takes the Jedi lightsaber. After hacking into the computer, they find the coordinates of At-Attin and learn why this planet is so heavily guarded and hunted by pirates. It turns out to be the mint of the Old Republic, which means there is indeed untold treasure there. Driven by greed, Silvo challenges Fern to become the new captain of the ship. According to the code, everything is fair, and of course the little girl can't do anything to a grown man, so she gives in. However, the children manage to escape through a hatch in the floor. Silvo makes his way out of the treasury, but is caught by the pirates who have come after him. The man is taken to Brutus, where the captain is about to execute him. Silvo tells everyone that he found At-Attin after all, thus prolonging his life, as the pirates wanted to check his story. When they get there, they see that the planet is covered by a powerful energy storm, through which no ship can pass. Silvo promises it's just a trick to keep outsiders away. A stormtrooper is sent there, which is expectedly destroyed. After that, the man is once again decided to be thrown into outer space. Let's go back in time a little bit. The kids end up at a garbage dump and see that their ship is still parked outside the hotel. And since KB has memorized the coordinates, they'll be able to fly by themselves. The main characters start arguing about what they should do better: climb the steep wall to the hotel or follow the friendly trash crabs to find help. So they splits up. KB and Wim go together, and it turns out the girl has a cybernetic implant in her head, keeping her alive. And it has to be constantly serviced so she doesn't die. Vim has to get his will together and help his friend fix it. Soon they reach the place where the crabs led them, and it turns out that they came to their leader, who is going to eat them. Meanwhile, Fern and Neil are climbing a steep wall and see that their ship is being evacuated. They jump on it and notice that their friends below need help. Eventually, they all manage to escape, but they fall into a junkyard where a huge robot is devouring scrap metal and has already started on their ship. The kids remember that there's a hull separation button, and they press it. It turns out that there was a smaller ship inside the pirate ship, and on it they fly to their home. Meanwhile, Silvo is in a panic trying to figure out how to escape, and notices a ship with children arriving. He shouts that he has figured out how to get to the planet, and they let him go. They take over the ship, but Silvo kills Brutus and declares himself captain. He orders his crew to capture the children and find the device by which the pirate Takeoff was able to get to this planet in the past. Meanwhile, on At-Attin, the parents of the missing children try to get through to the management to get someone to go on the search. However, a certain supervisor refuses them, as the planet is in complete isolation, and it is strictly forbidden to transmit any information from it. The parents decide to break the rules and make a special device that sends a message into space. This message, addressed to the children, is received by the pirates. It says that adults cannot reveal the coordinates of the planet, but if the children see it, they must find a certain emissary of the Republic, the only person allowed to come and go from the planet. At this point, the kids manage to outsmart the droid, and he knocks out the pirates. They head through the barrier in their ship and learn from the droid that they can cross it safely, so this is the emissary ship that the pirate Takeoff stole in the past. Silvo suddenly appears, having sneaked aboard unnoticed, and cuts off the droid's head with his lightsaber. He then threatens the children. If they don't listen to him, he will find their parents and kill them each with the most painful death. An alarm has been sounded on At-Attin. Everyone is warned that the emissary of the Republic has arrived, so the citizens need to take their jobs. A platform in the middle of the city opens, and a ship carrying the main characters lands there. The droids greet the emissary and the missing children. Silvo orders them to take him to the vault. They go deep underground, where they open one of thousands of bunkers. A fantastic amount of gold is stored there. Silvo is shocked at how much money it is. At this time, the parents also come down here, and the pirate continues to impersonate the emissary. He orders the droids to take the rest of the children home, and then goes up to the supervisor with Fern and her mom. It turns out the planet is run by a computer, and it quickly deduces that an imposter stands before it. However, Silvo destroys it, causing all electronics in the city to shut down, including the droids. The man gives a pass to his big ship, which is hovering in orbit, and the pirates descend on the planet. They start bombarding the civilians, and Silvo announces over the loudspeaker that the planet is now his, and all its inhabitants will continue to stamp money for him. We also learn that Silvo was trained by a real Jedi, which is why he is Force-sensitive. However, the teacher was later killed right before his eyes, and his soul began to blacken. At this time, the children realize that they are the only ones who can stop Silvo. They get on the scooters, and Vim's father follows them. The plan is as follows. They want to capture the emissary's ship, take off from the planet, and send a message to the map expert Kayim, who in turn will send the New Republic fighters to help. The children have no trouble finding the unguarded ship, but because there is no power, it cannot be disconnected from the platform. While Wim and his father go to the tower to get power, Neil sits at the helm of the cannon and fires at the pirates' ship to distract them. At the tower, the main characters succeed in their plan, and KB takes off from the planet. She sends out a distress signal, and Keem informs them that help will arrive very soon. However, they can't get to the planet because of the defense dome. The lever to disable it is in the supervisor's tower, and Silvo won't let anyone get near it. With everyone's efforts, they manage to defeat the pirate. The dome finally disappears, Silvo is forced to surrender, and the fighters of the New Republic begin to destroy the enemies. Except that the ship with KB is hit, and the main characters rush to the crash site. Luckily, the girl survived as the droid SM-33 with his head cut off. This is the end of the first season. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.